When they say look up, please look down. Are these people you can trust?
No.
Are these people you can trust?
No. Never.
In fact, it was during the regime of John Mahama that we saw the worsening state of illegal mining in Ghana. It is this period that the infamous Asha 1 operated without control and wreaked havoc on us as a nation. We are not against mining, but it should be done in a responsible manner. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we cannot conclude this press conference without touching on the current economic situation. This government has admitted to widespread economic difficulties in the country due to extreme shocks from exogenous factors, notably post-COVID recovery rigidities and global supply chain disruptions due to the Ukraine-Russia war. It's amazing how the leader of the NDC admits totally to these two important factors when addressing his audience abroad, but is quick to dismiss the relevance of these exogenous factors when he comes back home by putting all the blame on government. His hypocritical posture shows that he respects his international audience and therefore minded to show fidelity to facts and truth when he's abroad, but same cannot be said to the Ghanaians. This, sorry, is what we have been saddled with as a country over the period. Lack of candor, lack of principles, and when you lack this, you lack leadership. And that's why this country was in a total mess. Ghanaians have begun asking themselves, is John Mahama the alternative to the MPP breaking the eight? The people are wondering because the Mahama of 2012 to 2016 is the same Mahama they have brought back for 2024. John Mahama remains empty as ever, and even more so unsure of himself now than ever. He is fond of throwing out policy initiatives on his campaign platforms. Promises he has not thought through and has no intentions of implementing if voters dare make the mistake of trying him again. In the memorable words of Honorable John Peter Amewu, he says, John Mahama is a con man. For example, he says he will scrap ex gratia. He gave this promise in 2012 and had 4 years to implement it, but he did not. That is his record. He repeated the same promise in 2014 and went back to sleep. He has reawakened the promise and yet continues to enjoy ex gratia as former president. That is the mark of a con man. If you have principles, you will say, no, this I abhor and I won't take it. Then we know you have principles. Once you don't have it. The current world economy is in turmoil. Every country is experiencing significant inflation, leading to an increase in the cost of living and its attendant difficulties. We have seen serious economic crisis in Europe and even in America for the first time in many years. In Africa, the story is similar. 29 African countries currently before the IMF, negotiating for one program or the other. It is for these reasons that we believe that attempts to put blame on the economic difficulties on Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta are uncalled for and not plausible justifications. At best, the finance minister deserves commendation for working tirelessly to secure this deal for Ghana. It is important to emphasize the point that many of these countries negotiating for programs with the IMF have spent more than a year, some more than 2 years, and yet to be given approval by the fund. Ken Ofori-Atta has used less than a year to get Ghana this deal. This deserves applause and not chastisement. We still remember how some opposition members of parliament, notably Honorable Clement Park and Honorable Isaac Adongo, were ferocious in their claims that Ken Ofori-Atta has massaged figures and presented to the IMF, and for that matter, there was no way the IMF would grant Ghana the $3 billion request. A major issue this was, but Ken Ofori-Atta weathered the storm because he did not massage any figures. The minority leader, Kessel Atoforsin, said on several platforms that Ghana is not going to be able to secure any deal with the IMF, and that the earliest any semblance of a deal was going to be reached would be the end of July or the middle of August this year. Ladies and gentlemen, are we in July or August? No, we are still in May, and we have secured the deal. Just as Ken Ofori-Atta predicted and promised the good people of Ghana. We therefore wish to congratulate Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta for his hard work and success in securing Ghana the IMF deal within record period. The National Youth Wing stands with the Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta. We say, Ayuko said, for the hard work you have put in to ensure Ghana bounces back to its feet. Before COVID-19 struck, this same economy, under the same man, was celebrated as the fastest growing economy in the world. If through no fault of his, but the fury of Mother Nature, whom a major war in Eastern Europe, there is a downturn. We believe sincerely his portion is not opprobrium and unjustified vilification. Rather, he needs encouragement to get it right and bring us all reprieve. In conclusion, the MPP is not claiming to solve all the problems in this country, but we are on course to doing so. Indeed, this government is not made up of saints and angels, but human beings who have flaws. But on the balance of any scale, we have performed better. Which one do we prefer in this country? A government that is trying to solve our problems, i.e., employment, infrastructure, education, etc., or an opposition party that beats about the bush with no clear policy for this country? The National Youth Wing of the MPP wants to challenge former President John Mahama and his NDC to state categorically what they have done for the Ghanaian youth and their policies aimed at empowering the youth in the case of his highly unlikely return. The Ghanaian youth should be taken seriously, and that is what we stand for. Let me state that we are very clear in our minds that the MPP government has a clear policy plan for the youth of this country, and that we at the National Youth Wing will continue to stand for the interest of the entire Ghanaian youth and populace. Our friends from the media, let me state unequivocally that the development of this country is right on our hands. We, the young people, not be business as usual. Politicians shouldn't take us for a ride, but we should demand proof from politicians based on their track record and what they can do for us. Let us make better and informed decisions. This country, this government is serving the youth of this country, and it needs your support to get it right. This government is serving the youth of this country and needs your support to get it right. It is not a Matra Makwe situation.
No.
This is not a Matra Makwe. It is not. But our collective destinies are at stake. Today, many young people have been given hope because of the free SHS TVET policies that we have implemented, which are turning dreams into possibilities. The legacy, this is the legacy Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will leave behind, and history will remember him. We may not appreciate him now, but certainly his name will be written in the sands of time as one of the greatest leaders this country has ever had. This is a government that is working for you. This is a government that is working for you. So help it break the 8 and continue with the development and progress that our motherland needs. Thank you once again for honoring our invitation. And thank you for coming. Long live MPP, long live Ghana. Thank you.